maybe that I could address my feelings and actually have my feelings focused on, and that you would be sensitive with me about my feelings, and my feelings have been neglected and ignored. And you keep going back to our conversation and how but why do you get to set all these rules about what makes you feel safe to be talked to and whatever else? And if I try to talk about my feelings, then it's just like I don't matter. It really just you won't address the fact that, yes, my feelings were hurt and what you did hurt me, and that since then, like, I've been noticing that you don't seem to want to be around me. And that is the way you are making me feel. And whether that is your intentions or not, that is irrelevant. I'm telling you how you make me feel and how I feel because of what happened. And yes, I'm sensitive right now. But your reaction is not to care about my feelings, is not to protect me, is not to be there when I need you. Your reaction is your feelings.
I don't know how you see things that way.
Okay. And I knew this was a waste, and I didn't used to believe that men's feelings weren't important.
I wasn't done talking.
Oh, that's where you started.
It is, because I was trying to explain that we spent a lot of time together yesterday, and I tried talking to you about things.
Okay. Let me hit on that.
I kept trying to ask you questions and open up dialogue and talk about things to try and see if we could get on the same page. That was my goal. I was working on things yesterday. You haven't said anything.
Really?
That would make me think that you haven't opened a discussion about your feelings. And I thought that I had conveyed to you properly that I do love you very much, and that I didn't want those destructive things to happen, but that I didn't know if we could get on the same page about things, or if you could work with me so that we could work together. But I'm trying. I don't want to hurt you. I've said that multiple times.
What does that change about anything that I've said? What does any of that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You don't want to hurt me. You did hurt me. You don't want to make me feel some way. You did make me feel some way. You chose an action. You did something. You decided to do something. Whether it doesn't matter if that's what you wanted to do. That's what you did. You did something that damaged us, that damaged me. And I told you it damaged me. Even during the conversation, I told you that you hurt me. I told you that I wasn't okay. You want to act like I didn't tell you? I did tell you. And just because I didn't immediately go into conversation about it, I needed time.
Yeah.
And I expected that, hey, this person knows that they just did some damage. They know that they just made me feel like unwanted. And yeah, you know what? I expect from you what I would expect from myself. If I made someone feel unwanted and I didn't want to, I would do what I could to make that person feel wanted. But you haven't. You haven't done anything that, since our conversation, that has made me feel wanted.
Are you saying that you think...
Thank you.
Sorry.
You've done kind things. You've done things that I could possibly interpret as trying to be kind to me. I could also interpret it as you were just being kind to other people, or you were just thinking it needed to be done. Nothing directly that would say, hey, I want to be around you, I want to be with you. Nothing in that sense. There are things that could be interpreted as possible. I asked you to come over and cuddle with me. You grunted about it. I didn't sleep very well last night. I had trouble sleeping because my mind races when I'm going through stuff. And I was trying last night, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then this morning, because I didn't sleep, I wanted to rest. I'm getting depressed. I'm falling back into depression again. And I just didn't want to get up. And you left, and you did your thing, and that was fine. Honestly, I wanted you to come home and just sit down and, like, come home and show me that you wanted to be around me, or say hi, or rub my leg, or talk to me, or something. And you didn't, and that's fine. I mean, it's not like you did anything wrong there. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna call and see where she's at, because I wanted to test the waters and see if you would come spend time with me. And so I called you, and Katara answered your phone, and I figured that out pretty quickly. Even though she didn't say anything, and I could hear her and you talking, I figured, well, I didn't figure it was you. And then I did figure you were probably doing something where you couldn't touch your phone. But I didn't know what you were doing. And I didn't know why you were doing it. I didn't know why you chose right then to do it. I didn't know why you couldn't have taken a few minutes to come in there and say hey to me when you got back. And I know that if I would have had someone else answer my phone, I would have been saying, hey, I'm sorry, my hands are dirty, or I'll call you right back because I do want to talk to you, but I can't touch my phone right now, and I can't hear you. Or could you put it on speakerphone so I can talk to mom? You know, I feel like, yeah, a lot of times I look at how I would have dealt with something, and I believe that just telling someone that I'm busy without any kind of explanation, which it did not seem like you were trying to give an explanation, just tell Dad I'm busy, just feels like you just don't want to talk to me. And I'm sure that this all doesn't help. I'm sure that this right now doesn't make you very happy. But here's what I do know. I know that I have told you about how my feelings are hurt, and I brought it up, even though you asked me, and I wasn't going to bring it up. You asked me, and I answered you, and I told you, and it was the conversation was about my feelings being hurt. And you have turned it in multiple times into about your feelings, which shows me that you do not care about my feelings, because you care more about your feelings than my feelings. And I did not used to believe that guys' feelings were just ignored. And I do now. I do absolutely believe that now, because you've shown me that. You've shown me every time I bring up my feelings, whether I do it calmly or upset, it always ends up being about you and your feelings. Like, it cannot be about my feelings. And I have even taken times where I'm like, okay, I'm going to not even mention how I feel. I'm only going to talk about her feelings. I'm not going to try to include my feelings that way, that, because I don't want her to feel like ever that I'm just wanting to get my feelings in there too. But I've realized I cannot talk to you about my feelings because you don't want to hear it. You're always more worried about me understanding your feelings than addressing how I'm feeling or what I'm going through and caring about me. And that just makes me even more convinced that I'm not important. And I really don't want to be depressed right now. I've got enough crap going on. And I was feeling really great about us. I really, really thought we were on the right road and we were going to make it and do well, and you blindsided me. I cannot fathom what would make you decide, while you thought things were going good, to go and suggest that we get a separation. Like, that's the number one thing that hurts me. That my belief is we might as well just be divorced then, because you're just basically saying, I give up, I'm not even going to try. That's how I feel. No, I'm not done. You do know that's how I feel. You know full well that, because I've told you, and you've even mentioned it in front of the pastor, that every time you mention separation, I tell you we might as well be divorced then. And I've explained to you, and you do know, that to me, separation is basically just the next step towards divorce. And I'm not wasting my life. And that you saying you want a separation is the same thing as saying we might as well be divorced to me. And you decided to go that route even after our conversations.
No, I told you that had been my intentions, but that I was feeling secure enough to talk to you about it because things had been good for a couple of days and I had a lot of... Should I have just not told you?
That's your answer, isn't it? You should have just lied to me instead of...
No, I was trying to be honest with you. I was trying to be open with you and tell you that it was hurting me to even think about those things because
But you went and talked to the pastor about it. You decided that it was good enough to consider with the pastor. That's the point. You're talking about you shouldn't have told me. But you went when supposedly things were doing well and just went to the pastor and were like, hey, maybe we should go ahead and separate.
Yeah.
So your thought is not even, well, why would I even consider that? Your thought is, maybe I shouldn't have told you. Do you realize how much more you're just hurting me?
Because I don't know if things will ever change. Because of things that have happened over the past couple of weeks where situations have arisen.
What situations? What, you disagreeing with what I decided to do to go hang out with my kids when I had already promised to do something? What situation? What did I do that was so bad that you were ready to kick me out again?
Kick you out again?
Yeah, you were ready to kick me out again. As in, you keep wanting to kick me out.
No, I don't keep wanting to kick you out. I don't think you understand what I want.
Answer my question and stop manipulating what I'm saying every time I say something.
I'm not being manipulative.
Stop focusing on what I'm not saying, and please answer my question.
You've gotten upset with me several times, but the one that really stood out to me was that I wasn't out there waiting and I didn't hear you, and You
Wasn't out where waiting?
at the hospital, and I thought you were dropping Tara off. I didn't know that I was driving you back home.
So you wanted to separate with me because you didn't listen to a conversation?
No, it's how you treated me.
I didn't treat you anyway.
You did. And then you said, maybe Pastor Nathan was right. You need to get on a different medication.
Your interpretation of what happened is not my fault.
What else could that possibly mean?
As far as I knew, you had been taking your medicine. You had your medicine and it wasn't working, and you were not able to focus, and you've clearly proven that it's not that weren't able to focus. And I get you hadn't had your medicine, but to me, all I knew was you probably had your medicine and you weren't able to focus on a conversation, and you brought up the conversation of the medicine. And so I was like, well, maybe he's right. Maybe you do need to look into some other kind of medication. It's not the huge ordeal you're pretending it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
But
I'm getting tired of this. This has already turned back into about you.
No, I'm explaining. You asked me, what was it that made you change your mind and make you think that things couldn't work the way they were? You also don't seem to understand that if I had you go stay in the trailer, I still want to work on things. I don't want to lose you forever. That's not something that I want. I want
you don't get to dictate
to find
everything.
A way to work, but I also can't live my life in a manner.
And no, that's not what I asked you. I didn't
Jacob,
ask you
regardless of being on medication or not, I'm gonna not hear you sometimes. I am a human being. I'm gonna not hear you sometimes. I'm gonna forget things.
Okay, this is not about sometimes. This is about you literally can't hear me. Like, that's not a human being thing. That's a you need help thing. And I'm sorry I didn't know you didn't take your medication, but what I said was not mean. What I said was not untrue. And if you had been taking your medication and you were that problematic to be able to concentrate, then you definitely do need to be on some other kind of medication. But I get you hadn't taken your medication.
Because I missed a part of a conversation?
No, you didn't miss a part of a conversation. You just could not hear anything.
That's not true.
I'm done talking to you. You litigate. This is not what the conversation was about. I asked you. I keep telling you that, and you keep focusing on the wrong things.
You asked me, what was it?
Yes, I asked you that because I asked you that because you directed the conversation towards that. So I went ahead and I bet, and I shouldn't have.
You were mad at me the whole way home.
I don't want to do this.
And I dropped you off. You were mad at me. Okay. Sorry.
You're not focusing on my feelings. You're still hijacking the conversation into what you want it to be. I don't want to talk about this. You brought it towards this. I asked you a question. But it was my fault. I get it.
What do you want from me?
I want you to acknowledge that you made me feel a certain way, and that you have you can't act offended that I'm hurt.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do you think that it's wrong of me to have wanted that?
I don't know what the question is.
Do you think that I have wronged you by wanting you to move to the trailer?
Absolutely.
You think that I have wronged you?
Yes. Multiple reasons.
Okay, so that's that's the problem we're running into. Then.
Cool.
No, I'm trying to figure out things.
If you can't
I'm
understand how that is wrong,
understand.
then
You think that wanting something because you're hurting
can be wrong, absolutely.
Because you're trying to discern things and be discerning and figure them out. Like, because it hurt you, it was hurtful to you, it was wrong. Because I never wanted to hurt you. That wasn't my intentions, but I don't think what I wanted is wrong.
Okay. So if you hurt me and I go and I sleep with somebody because I want to feel intimate with somebody, and I do it, and it has nothing to do with you, and my intentions are not to hurt you, but I go and I sleep with someone else because of my pain and my needs and my hurt, and I go and try to get it from someone else, then it's not wrong because I didn't intend to hurt you, and I'm just hurting.
I don't think that's the same thing.
It is absolutely the same thing.
Well, I disagree.
Okay, so is the Bible wrong? Is the Bible lie?
No.
Okay, so when the Bible says that it is wrong to separate for more than a short time, and when separation does not include moving out, by the way, when the Bible says that you should only separate for an agreed upon married people, the husband and wife both agree to separate for a short amount of time, which does not mean moving out in the Bible. If it says it's wrong, then ignore that because your feelings are different. So wrong is not wrong as long as that's the way you're feeling.
No, Jacob, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, well, but you just said it's not wrong.
I don't think what I wanted was wrong, no.
So you just don't care what the Bible says. Or you're wanting to argue that you want to pretend that's not what the Bible says.
No, I just think I have some moral ground to stand on.
Oh, okay. I know where that's headed. I'm going to walk away before I say something.
I don't understand.
No, I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do anything.
Really, what's your moral ground to stand on, Danny? Take 5 seconds to prove me right.
That God wouldn't want me to go through some of the things that I have gone through or am going through.
Says who?
Says my understanding of things.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You are lying because you're lying to yourself.
I'm not lying to anybody.
Really? Because God has let plenty of things happen to Christians over the years much worse than what you're going through.
I know that.
So God wouldn't want you to have to go through something small and trivial, but he was okay with people that were raped, killed, stoned, traveled for 40 years. You
think what I have gone through is small and trivial?
I think what we've gone through is small and trivial compared to what many people have gone through. In the grand scheme of things, what we have been through is trivial. Job went through a way worse.
I don't think that you know.
I'm done talking to you. You completely, like, you've proven me right. You've hijacked the conversation. You're not talking about my feelings. You keep going back to your feelings on everything and how you are glorifying your decisions on everything that you want to do. I'm not done. You clearly will refuse to even care and address my feelings, and you just turn it back on you, and you just want to think that you can't do any wrong, even when you're doing wrong. And you can't argue that separation is supported by God, or that God wouldn't want you to go through this, therefore he thinks separation's okay. You can't put words in God's mouth, and that is completely wrong. And I never agreed to a separation, so you can't even act like you're trying to do the right thing.
Jacob, I do care about your feelings a lot.
I don't believe you. And you've done nothing to reassure me of anything.
What
you constantly are about you.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're literally sitting here talking about you still.
No, I just... Okay, I'm sorry.
How is this about my feelings? How is any of this right here, right now, that you were just talking about my feelings?
Let's talk about your feelings.
No, I've tried that like 4 times.
No, I don't feel like that's... I mean, I know that you've mentioned and talked about your feelings and how you wanted to address them, but, like... You haven't really told me...
I've told you 3 times about my feelings.
Right? You feel like I've wronged you.
I feel like you went behind my back and went to the pastor and said something that you wanted, which blindsided me, considering that even you said we were doing really well right then. And you went and hurt me. And then, since then, you have pretty much just kind of, like, not made any attempt to try and reassure me that this is what you want. And I'm supposed to not be hurt? Yeah, you've done nothing to address any of that.
I'm not sure what... I haven't been unkind. I haven't done...
Oh, good for you.
I've been spending time with you.
No. No, we've been around each other. You haven't been spending time with me.
Have asked you to go with me...
What?
To things. I wanted you to go with me to Lily's. I expressed that, and you said, no, I've got things to do around the house. And I was like, that's respectful, okay. I have made...
Asking me to go to Lily's is you asking to spend time with me. We went to Lily's before, and you completely ignored me there before. Well, it's not like you're spending any time with me. Just because someone is around does not mean that you're spending time with someone.
When I got home, dinner needed made. And so I made dinner, and you were asleep when I got home. I tried to call you on my way home, and you barely talked to me, and you were asleep. And I thought you...
You were supposed to go over and drop something off at Lily's and come straight back. That's what I told you. Do you remember that? That's what I asked you to do? I said, could you please just... You can take them with you, but could you just drop off and come straight home? Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, but you also said the boys could see the baby. They all held the baby for like 10 minutes each. That's 30 minutes right there. And then Lily wanted me to go get her coffee because she was extremely tired. And so I sent you a message telling you I was doing that. And you never responded back to me. I asked if you wanted me to get you a drink from the gas station on the way home. You didn't respond. So I called you and you were asleep.
Guess your phone? I don't need your phone. I can do it from my phone.